guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about a trade I took on the Euro US dollar on the Tuesday, so it would have been the 4th of April 2023. Again, starting off with the DXY weekly, we'll be doing a full top-down analysis on this. For the DXY, ideally I have actually been wanting to see a bullish DXY. I'm sort of going off the fact of the Federal Reserve being hawkish on the rates and increasing interest rates, and I sort of anticipated the low of the year to be priced in on Feb. I thought this would be the low of the year for the DXY at least. But I'm a bit on the sideline now with the DXY. Obviously, we're seeing sell side liquidity is being attacked, and bearish fair value gaps being respected. So it's kind of a sign that the algorithm is seeking sell side liquidity. We are currently within this a bullish rejection block. I think that might just have nibbed the mean threshold of it. So I'll be interested to see if the DXY actually trades beneath this low. If we do, then we're going to be trading into this monthly fair value gap, and it would be trading deeper into the discount of this big range here. So if I'm honest with you, I wasn't actually planning on taking a trade this week because NFP week's usually less favorable. You can catch a trade before NFP, but usually it's the least favorable week of the month to trade. Obviously, especially with it being the first week of the month, it would usually be the accumulation phase of the monthly candle. But anyway, I'm going a bit off tangent. So weekly, okay, so we had, going on to the daily DXY, we had this candle here Monday. Obviously I don't trade Mondays. I usually sit them out. I never trade Mondays at all, in fact. But we can see here on this range, it's come to OTE. It's swept these two relatively equal highs, which are also previous day's highs, and we've also got this little volume imbalance here that got filled, and we've come to OTE, and then we've rejected off of that OTE. So after I've seen that, my kind of my daily expansion anticipation for Tuesday would have been to seek the liquidity below this previous week's low. I thought it was pretty obvious. At the end of the day, I always ask myself, where is price now? Where does it come from? And where is it going? So where is it now? So at the start of Tuesday, it's trading here. It's close to previous week's low. It's come from premium of this range after sweeping multiple buy side liquidity targets, as well as filling this volume imbalance, and it's rejected off of there. So I was anticipating a bearish expansion day, and obviously this is inversely correlated with the euro. We can see here, I think that was Monday. Yeah, so I was anticipating a bullish expansion for Tuesday as well on the euro. Yeah, so we that was today's trading, so I'm going to actually remove that. Yeah, so same sort of situation again. Obviously we've got here and here. So we've Euro USD was quite interesting on Monday because we've traded into this daily fair value gap, sweeping all of these three previous days lows. Full close of this into 6.2, the OTE of this range, and again we've sort of closed up here. So if we just remove this as well, there was so many liquidity targets. Obviously we had this previous day's high, these two previous days highs being relatively equal, and then we also had this was a previous week's high as well, and we also had this previous day's high there as well. So going 4 hour, excuse my voice. Again, there wasn't really much going off on the 4 hour, I suppose. I mean, Tuesday, 4 o'clock in the morning, I suppose prices tapped into this fair value gap, moved away to the downside. I don't really look at the 4 hour too much. I didn't with this trade anyway. So we'll just jump straight down into the intraday time frame, which is what everyone wants to see. Okay, so Asian session. Yeah, very textbook setup. At the end of the day, I had a very clear draw on liquidity. So we've got the previous day's low here. We had this Asia range low there. And we've also got this low here. There, that would have been a previous week's low. So there's lots of, I mean, the draw on liquidity was very clear. Obviously, I was favoring the sell side. The algorithm will favor sell side more often than not when you're in a situation like this where you have multiple sort of significant liquidity pools. And then we have here market structure shift, plain and simple. And this market structure shift, well, this is the kind of the Judas of the day, which swept these highs here, which was also the Asia range high. And we've also swept into this little 30-minute fair value gap. So that would have been the array. I like to see the, if I'm trading the London Judas, I like to see the Judas trade into some kind of array whilst sweeping liquidity. CBDR, I don't think I used the CBDR for this trade. Let me just, yeah, I don't think I used the CBDR, but it came to near enough the 50% of the first standard deviation. So that's another confluence. If I don't get CBDR, I don't let it put me off taking a Judas, but it is always nice to, you know, have. It's just another sort of confluence. So going straight into Euro USD on the 15-minute. Inversely correlated, obviously. So we've got here previous day's high. We've got the Asia range high here. We've got these two previous day's high. That is a previous week's high, I believe, and so is that. These are relatively equal. That's more liquidity, and then obviously we've got this previous week's high as well. So the draw on liquidity was very strong on both DXY and Euro US dollar. Yeah. Okay, so again, market structure shift. CBDR, I don't think use the CBDR on Euro USD, but again, same thing, market structure shift, plain and simple. And then the Judas has swept these kind of flat lows here, which is also the Asia range low, into this. I had this for a 30-minute order block. As you can see here, the last down close candle before bullish displacement makes this a valid order block, and that is exactly where the Judased into, I suppose you want to call it that. And my entry was just here, so we had the confirmation of this market structure shift when this bullish candle displaced, closing above this candle's high, and then I waited for a small retracement back down into the fair value gap, and I targeted here. Very simple trade. I did take a partial. I think I remember it got to, yeah, it was here. It swept this liquidity pool here, the previous day's high, which was like my sort of like TP1. And we then had this big retracement. When it started retracing, I decided to take a 50% partial. And usually you can find this kind of phenomenon happening, not all the time, but with these previous day's highs, there'll be retail traders looking to buy on the break. They see the candle break previous day's high, and they believe in like buying and selling pressure and strength and stuff. Obviously, it doesn't exist. You know, their theory is that price is broken above the high, so it's going to continue the move. And sometimes what you'll find is with these previous days highs, this is a big gem to remember, is price will break it, so it tags them into that trade. So if you imagine they are going to buy here, okay, let's just forget my trade. If you imagine they're going to buy on the break, let's say here, and you know they've got their stop here, what the algorithm will sometimes do, not all the time, will sometimes do, is it will tag them in, and then it will immediately trade back down to stop their order out before continuing the move. I mean, like I say, sometimes, you know, here, obviously with this high, if you was to buy above this high, you would have probably been in the money. But this is something to consider, and it's something the algorithm does. It will sweep a liquidity pool and then go back down to collect more orders before sort of trading bullish again. Obviously, in this case, bullish. Here as well, these equal highs, you're going to have support resistance traders looking to sell. They think that it's a key level, and they think that price is going to find some kind of resistance there. Obviously, if they sold there, they would have got wrecked. So I think that about concludes it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Until the next one.